Thanks again for taking time, investing in your life, building into your life in this way. We've been walking through the foundations that we want for our team, for every single one of us to embody, regardless of the role that we have. Our belief is that we should live and lead from a place of overflow, from a place of spending time with God. So we've looked at a biblical understanding of worship. We've looked at how we build a history with God. And we've also looked at our heart in worship. When we all understand this, own it, and lead it, just imagine what would take place. Imagine a team that all of us are fully committed to this and fully committed to living this out. Remember, God is seeking worshipers. He's looking for worshipers who worship Him in spirit and in truth. Let's be that type of worshiper. That when God is looking for it, He finds it within our team, within our church, and within our lives. So today what I want to do is I want to talk through this idea of what it looks like to lead off platform. What it looks like for us to be people who lead off platform. As people serving on our team, worship, production, it's so easy to have the mindset, because we use the label worship leader. Like, we do have specific worship leaders on our team. It is a title that we put to distinguish a specific role. And it's really easy to have this mindset that other people are worship leaders. And we can begin to live that thought that it's only the person with the microphone on platform making the calls that's really responsible for leading us in worship, for taking us somewhere, for, if you will, getting us into the presence of God. Here's our belief as a team. Every single one of us are worshipers. And every single one of us as worshipers has the opportunity and challenge to actually step in and lead as a worshiper. Then that makes all of us worship leaders then, right? Not just some. That's something to be a part of. Everyone carries the responsibility then of not just being a worshiper to God, but being a worship leader in this moment. Whatever area that we're serving in, whatever our role is that day, what if we don't even have a role? What does leading off platform actually look like? What would our team look like if we really own the fact that we're all worship leaders, not just some, and that we lead with our whole lives? Remember Romans 12, we've read through this, but it's so good for us to keep this in front of us. Therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercies, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Right, so you might not have a mic and have a voice to sing. You might not play an instrument. You might not be the person making the calls behind the scenes. You might not be the soundboard. You might not be in front of people. But you and I all have a posture within our hearts to say, am I leading in this moment? Your outward expression can either point people to the goodness of God and inspire others to lift their eyes to Jesus, or it could say, this is boring. Right? Leading off stage, leading off platform. What does it look like for us? I'm going to give us 3 really basic things when it comes to our gathering that we need to have the mindset around as worship leaders that are leading this. Worshipers who lead. Worshipers who lead. How do we do this? The first thing is we lead from wherever we are. It is not solely up to the worship leader or worship pastor to lead the congregation. Each of us has a responsibility to be leading from wherever we find ourselves at. Whether you're on the front row, in the back of the room, you can choose to lead. Worship leaders lead wherever they are at. That's what sets part of them, that's what sets them apart. If you watch a worship leader, they will lead wherever they're at. Here's what this is like. Like for me personally, I challenge myself to view the people around me as the people I'm leading. I don't have to be looking at them. Like they can be behind me, whatever it is. I'm choosing in this moment I'm stepping in. I'm going to go beyond where I'm at in this moment. I'm going to sing with boldness. I'm going to lift my hands. I'm going to express myself. Why? Because I'm a worship leader and I'm leading worship in this place. That's what I do. It's who I am. And since it's who I am, wherever I go, that's what I'm going to do. So it doesn't matter if I have an invitation in this moment or not. It doesn't matter if someone else is leading in this moment or not. It doesn't matter what the songs are. The questions that I have to ask myself is, do I lead differently on platform versus off platform? And if the answer is yes, I do, then there is a break in that. There is a separation. We would say it's an integrity gap. We lead from wherever we are at. I want to be the same off platform in my leadership as I am on platform. Lead from wherever we are at. So we lead from wherever we're at. The second thing we see is we set the standard on and off the platform. Leading in a gathering does not just stop with those scheduled to play. Our pastors, leaders, volunteers lead our church in response, right? Like this takes all of us. If you're not scheduled for a gathering, we still lead off platform. How? By doing what we've talked about, by worshiping passionately, raising our hands, singing, clapping, engaging in what is going on in this moment. We should have the same level of passion off platform as we do when we're on platform leading. That's how we do this. We set the standard on and off platform. The standard is not about what takes place on the platform. The standard is about what takes place in our lives and in these gatherings that we hold. If you're only able to show life and energy when you're on platform, then every single one of us has missed the point. The platform should be an overflow of the leadership and the passion of Jesus Christ in my life. That should already exist within me. That is just an amplification of it. Here's the question. Am I passionate and engaged where I'm at, whether I'm on platform or off platform? Do I lead the same in this? You know why some gatherings are so contagious? It's because you have a room full of leaders who are leading off platform. It makes the role of someone who's leading on platform so much easier, by the way. You want to go further faster? Be the one to lead it. That leader that's up there, they'll say, oh, people are ready. People are posturing themselves in this way. You can change the atmosphere of a gathering by how you step in. Your mindset, your heart posture in this moment, what you're carrying in, the faith that you're bringing in, the passion that you're bringing in, you can change it in how you lead off platform. Do you lead the same? Is your mindset the same? Third thing is our posture and stance. They're either inviting or distancing for people. Whether we like to admit it or not, when we are on platform, people can actually see us, not just worship leaders. Okay? When you're running audio, people can see you. When you're sitting behind a camera, people can see you. They're watching you. And our body language says way more than we think. Man, if you have your head down and you're just like rigid, well, the worship leader is doing their best to engage the congregation, to lift their voice for more, and you're just reluctant, hands in your pocket, just like staring down, disengaged with it. Our posture and stance, they're either inviting or distancing for people. That's on every single one of us. As a team, that's on every single one of us. When you're not required to play or tune, whatever it is, be participating in the engagement of the church by singing, clapping, lifting of hands, moving around. And our production team, they're so good at this. They're so phenomenal at this. They stand behind the sound booth, they stand in our balconies, they stand off stage, and if you look back and you just lift your eyes and you see them, you just see them engaging with the presence of God in this moment. And they have a task to do, they have a role to fill, they do that. Are we doing that every single time that we step in somewhere? Something as simple as a smile can change the atmosphere. Eyes shut, that intense face, it has their place, but they can also be off-putting. Something as simple as smiling to people around you can change the atmosphere and attitude of people? Is your posture inviting? We encourage our team to be smiling, singing, and using their instruments and body language to engage and welcome the people in our congregation. Sometimes we need to let our faces actually show that we love Jesus too. I'm probably like the most guilty of this. I have a very stern expression on my face. I'm really joyful though. I just don't always know how to laugh when I'm leading, and I need to be reminded of that my posture and my stance, whether I'm off platform or on platform, it either invites people or it distances people. Why does all of this matter? Because as I said, we're all worshipers. Let's be worshipers who lead. We're called to lead people. Not just some of us, all of us are called to do this. Understand that we have the power and potential to change. You and I have the power and the potential to change how our gatherings feel when we understand that we carry something into this gathering. So we can either carry into it an attitude of I am going to lead, and as I lead, from the front row, from the middle row, from the back of the room, wherever it is that I can step in and I can say, in this moment as I lead, I choose to do this with passion, I choose to do this with faith, I choose to do this with an expectation that God will move. You either can choose to set the temperature in the room or allow others to set the temperature for you. As we like to say around here, be the thermostat, not the thermometer. Don't take the temperature, set the temperature. Set the atmosphere of that place. May we never be people who elevate the platform to a way where we think it is greater than the actual platform that God has given us in our life, where we can step into rooms and step into spaces and step into the lives of people and say, I choose to lead in this way. I choose to posture myself in this way. And I've set a standard for how I will engage. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to step in? Middle school, high school, young adults, weekends, at each of our campuses, that we would have the same mentality of leadership, that I am contributing to this overall, and I am a thermostat in this place, and I will turn this place up for passion and excitement.